Alright, so before I say anything else, I just want to get this out of the way real quick. I think the Final Shape is one of the better campaigns we've seen in this franchise. But just keep in mind, I'm not the same Destiny player I used to be. So my approach to this DLC with this video is coming from more of a solo player that doesn't raid anymore. Just kind of looking at the story itself, the core activities, what we have available to. What is the overall experience for a solo player? You know, I'm not that raider anymore. I used to, the only thing I did in Destiny for years was raid. I haven't done a raid in years at this point. You know, I'm not the same player I was. So just keep in mind, that's kind of where I'm coming from. That's my approach to this DLC. Also, there will be some spoilers in this video, but I'm going to try to keep it mostly spoiler free. As you guys know, I do not script my commentary, so it's a little tougher to do that. But we'll try to keep the first majority of the video spoiler free. And then just at the ending of this quick video with my thoughts, we'll throw a couple of spoilers in at the ending. I'll let you guys know when it's time to talk some spoilers. And for all y'all that have been watching my playthrough of the Final Shape on my second channel, obviously we are done at this point. I have no idea when I'm going to get around to uploading the rest of it. It's all about finding the time to do some editing to get that done. But we are done. I have it recorded and I'll get it up as quickly as I can. So let us talk a little Destiny 2, the Final Shape. And like I said, I think this is one of the better campaigns we've seen in the franchise. And I know we have another mission coming, and I know we have the raid dropping real soon. But I'm sitting here at the end of what we got, and all I'm feeling is I'm underwhelmed. It feels undercooked, delivered. And I'm not even talking about all the server problems we had despite them shutting down the servers for the whole day before the DLC launched. And this is a DLC they delayed. The servers were still a mess, probably the worst servers we've seen, the worst launch of a DLC we've seen. I'm not even talking about any of that. But first, let's talk some of the good I think this DLC does. I like some moments in the story. I don't love the story. There's some parts of the story that I wasn't feeling at all, but the dynamic, the back and forth between Cade and Crow, I like some of that. I even laughed a few times. The new supers are cool. They're not crazy or anything like that, but they're fine. It is what it is, man. They're there. I'll use them. We'll have some fun with them. Prismatic is pretty dope though. I like Prismatic. I could see me having a lot of fun with Prismatic if the content is here though. The content needs to be here for you to enjoy something like that. The visuals are so on point, especially for a game that dropped in 2017. Just looking around at the desolate Cosmodrome, and then you go to another section of the Pale Heart and everything's green and the sky is blue, and it's just, dude, it is absolutely beautiful. And the music, the soundtrack is same old with Destiny. The music has always been great. We've heard better soundtracks before with this franchise, but the music over here is solid. I haven't had a chance to play Crucible yet. I'm not even sure how many maps we've gotten with this DLC. It's probably not a lot, but I haven't had a chance to check those maps out yet. I did get to play the Lost Sectors on the Pale Heart, and they're actually cool. They're interesting Lost Sectors. We got to try, I think, 3 of them in the campaign, and there was the one strike. You also have to play that in the campaign, and I thought the strike was actually pretty cool. A little on the longer side, though. It would have been nice if it was a little bit shorter. Like, people like when they're grinding for loot or whatever it is, you know, people like those quick strikes. You just want to get in, get it over with, get out. This strike is cool. I like the dynamics of it. I like the different things that you do in the strike, and the visuals are cool, and all of that is just a little bit on the longer side, and it's only the one strike we got. And some of the weapons we got so far seem pretty cool. There's a grenade launcher I got that fits in your kinetic slot. I think it's stasis. That thing is beast mode. The call sidearm that you get in the campaign is so good. And some of the exotics seem like they'd be really fun to use. I don't have any of them yet, but you have like a Galahorn type sword. You got another sniper rifle that's like a golden gun. Like, the shit looks cool. It looks like they're going to be fun to use. But other than the raid that's coming, which a lot of people don't get around to doing because they just don't have time to raid, and I'm one of those people now. I used to raid all the time. I do not raid anymore. Where is the content to use these items, these limited items, to have some fun with Prismatic? Where do you go to enjoy these? You go to the core activities. where everybody goes when they want to get their grind on, when they're getting ready for the raid or whatever in Destiny. Most of the time when you're playing Destiny, you're grinding these core activities, and it's still the same old game, man. We have one new strike. Like, you guys remember when we got Taken King, you got a whole gang of strikes, a bunch of Crucible maps, tons of weapons, legendaries, and exotics. The same with Forsaken. You had so much content there in your story. Whether or not they actually executed on that story in Forsaken, when you look at Forsaken's story or you look at the Taken King story, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. The raid was that little extra added onto the campaign, but it wasn't the ending of the campaign. When you played the campaign, you still had your beginning, middle, and end. Now we're going to get into some of these spoilers. Over here with the final shape, your ending is whatever happens in the raid and whatever happens in this mission that we're going to be getting. Like, nobody dies in this game, in the campaign that you get with the base final shape DLC. Nobody dies. Like Zavala, I think this would have been a perfect time maybe to take him out because we have different voice actors now. Even though I think the voice actor is fine, we've seen him in a lot of games before. I think he's a great voice actor. It doesn't hit the same though, man. Lance Reddick is a fucking legend. Rest in peace. It doesn't hit the same, and I feel like they could have used this. This was a perfect opportunity to maybe take Zavala out. Nobody dies in this campaign, and the Witness just comes off like a little bitch, man. Like the last mission, actually, I thought was real great. Until you get to the boss fight, which the first part of it is actually kind of cool. I was like, all right, you know, I'm feeling this. We're leading up to this point, and then we're gonna get him. But you don't kill the Witness. Actually, you don't even really fight him, man. You grab this sword, you chop down some statues, you're taking down his shield, and then before you actually can fight him, it cuts out and says, oh, well, you get to go fight him in the raid. Talk about the mother of all teases, and this is a dude we've seen in cutscenes and shit before, like in the Lightfall campaign. We've seen this dude just like flick his wrist, and he's chopping people up into pieces and shit, and it's like, we get him in the boss fight, and we're fighting his little minions while he's shooting some, I don't know, some fucking orange shit at us, man. You just got to stand behind a wall and you're good, and you deal with his little minions. That's it. That's the boss fight. You almost get his shield down, and then you'll go fight him in the raid. Dude, it is so fucking lame in my opinion, especially for the people who don't raid. Whatever this mission's gonna have for us, I can't see it tying everything up in what, like, with a bow in one mission. I can't see them doing all that. We're on a 10-year journey. The price of this DLC, the things that people had to tolerate before, like, we've gotten some pretty mediocre, lackluster, wildly mid DLCs in this franchise, and we just kind of tolerated it though because we were getting to this point. Like, this is the moment. And just for the price that they're charging and the time that you had to put in, I don't see it, man. And we've seen way better DLCs before, and we've seen way better villains before. You know, the Taken King, the story in that was actually good, and the villain was great. Oryx was great. Savathun is actually a really good villain from the Witch Queen, and I think the Witness is just like a little punk compared to Oryx or any of these other villains we've seen before. Like, the Witness just... You expected to fight this huge baddie that was just going to be a problem no matter where you go, and he's just like a whiny little bitch, man. He just talks his shit to you throughout the campaign, and then when you fight him, you don't actually fight him, you just fight some of his minions, and then, I don't know, we'll see what happens at the raid. It's just, dude, it's very lame. They're charging a lot of money for this DLC, and I don't see a whole lot of content here. And the story with this campaign is lacking. Like, this is the moment. They were talking about a transformative moment. But everything is the same. What are they talking about, a transformative moment, man? Everything is the same. I guess the raid's got something for us, man, but not everybody plays that shit. Even though I think they did a few things really good with this DLC, and some things they did great even, I don't see enough here to justify the cost in dollars or the time. Like, we're talking about a 10-year journey here, man. People are like, we're just sitting around with our thumbs up our ass wondering what the fuck do we do now? Like, where's the payoff? Where's the reward? 10 years, man. We started this journey back in D1, and we've always been in a place in Destiny where we knew something was coming. Like, yeah, okay, this DLC is kind of mid, whatever. We got this DLC coming, though. We know they're going to look after us in a year's time. And it's now like we don't even, there wasn't really an ending here. There was no payoff, there's no reward, and we don't know what's coming next. We don't know if there's anything coming next, and I see a lot of people potentially just walking away and getting bored. Like, echoes, these episodes that we're getting, we don't know yet. I guess we're gonna see. It feels like too much time spent on the live service portion of the game and not enough time spent on what they're charging the big money for. Like, basically what you're paying, basically the same amount you pay for a full price AAA game. They needed to focus on that a little bit more. I just don't see enough here, especially when you consider this is the ending of a 10-year journey. This is supposed to be the ending of the Light and Dark saga. But the store is lit, though. Oh, you know the store is going to be lit. But anyways, that's all I got for this one. Obviously, you know, I put up the money. There's enough good here for me to keep playing for a while and just see what happens and see where it goes. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a team together and I'll try the raid and try to see the actual ending to this campaign. But there's enough here where I'll keep playing. I've always loved the gameplay in Destiny. I've always loved the lore in Destiny. So, like I said, man, we bought the DLC. We're going to be here for a bit. But it's lacking a little bit, you know? It's just a little meh, right? Like, they needed to go out with a grand slam on this. And all they did was a ground rule double, it feels like. But I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And I'll see you on the next one.